Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Realtor. Trust you're doing well. And on this episode, we're taking a look at commercial kitchens. We are at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, and we just want to take a look at how different commercial kitchens different from those at home. And our guest today will help us talk about it. Karibu sana, and Seth, kindly introduce yourself.
Oh yes, thank you for having us. My name is Abel. I am a manager at Cozy Concept Interiors. And yeah, we are right here today at one of our remodeling sites, and we are happy to have you.
Thank you so much. So at Cozy Concepts Interior, what do you guys do there exactly?
We actually are interior designers, as the name suggests. We are interior designers and interior architects. So the lead and the founder, who is Ted, who is an interior designer by profession, actually is an interior architect. He's the one who came up with the whole vision and dream. We've been in operation for about now 7 years or more, if I'm not wrong, 7 years thereabout. And so what we do is we build interiors. Some of the projects that we've also actually done is built from scratch with people who have residents that they want to be built. So we co-work with constructors and also suppliers of different functions, and we come together and make some wonderful spaces that people live in. And even commercial spaces too.
All right, I was about to ask that question. If you only deal with commercial setups or home setups?
We do both on the both ends. We do both. Some projects are actually very small. If we told you we're the ones doing it, you will not imagine, but they are projects that we do. We both commercial and also residential. So these are homes, personal homes, and yeah.
So when you're dealing with interior for commercials and interior for homes now, how do they differ?
The difference actually, from the word go, it's space. From the word go, it's usually space. When you consider the two sides, some people have very big, massive homes, and that's the it, and it has a personal feel. As to commercial, that is for residentials, but for commercials, mostly you also lean towards functionality. Is it functioning for them? Like right now at this particular site, I wish you came earlier when we were doing the deconstruction. You'll have actually marveled. It was all wood and very vintage. It was very old. And so what we've done a lot of here is putting in a lot of light. There's a lot of glass and metal and a lot of wood paneling. That is what you'll see as you come in. But from what it came from, this is pure remodeling. And I hope I'll take you around way later into the interviews that you can see. While you come into the commercial, is a lot of functionality, right? If you come to that space, is it an hotel? Is it an office space? How many cubes do they want? So it's very different, more than the house feel where I want my blue, I want my pink for my daughter, I want my carpet, I don't know, all these Moroccan patterns on the floor. These are things that you won't see mostly in a commercial setting. Yeah.
So for a commercial setup, it should be aesthetically pleasing to people from outside or to people who work there?
Actually, for both functions. Well, in the modern times, what we've realized is with the generation that we are having, the workforce that is coming in, they're actually more into those colors. They want colors in the spaces, which was not there before. So people are going for very pop, robust colors, like people want bright orange colors, lime green. People are just trying, even in the commercial spaces. But the thing is, again, back to the functionality, we can't really go into a lot of comfort and then forget the work, depending on what you're doing. So let's say you're going into a real estate office. Definitely, they're not going to very much like pop and what have you, because maybe a screen will work to show what they own. And a little bit of working space where they can put up their laptops. Just a small space maybe for gaming. That is one thing that is really coming into commercial spaces, that people really want gaming zones where they can go and chill and breathe and relax and rethink. Lots of creativity work going there. But unlike homes, the home is definitely comfortable throughout, from the word go to, yeah.
Hakuna comfort kazini?
There is, but think about it. What kind of comfort are you looking for? Because the commercial spaces also differ. Homes are homes. Definitely bed and what have you. But for commercial spaces, they're quite differing. If you're building an hotel, which is a commercial space, different thing. If it's a cafe, different feel. Then I go now to, like, let's say a real estate, different thing. If you go into a bank, a different thing. So it's actually a feel thing where people are like, I think you visited NCBA, the Loop account. Yeah. They're very different. The NCBA and the Loop has a different feel. And there's the same bank, because of the target audience that they're looking for. So including the staffers who are sitting on wonderful seats, and I bank with them, they haven't paid me though. So yeah, considering the workers also need to be comfortable with working, but also us as people, as their customers, when they come in, we want to see those colors, we want to see screens, and we want to hear some soft music. So it's the difference is in that space. Yeah.
So for this project that you're working on here at KICC, what do you intend to achieve with it, and what project is it exactly?
Oh wow, do you have the whole day? So what you're trying to achieve right here is a lot of fusion. We want to bring an outdoor feeling into the interior. As you come towards the entry, you'll actually see it's called a terrarium, which is used land. Aquarium for water, terrarium for land, the sand. You can put reptiles and what have you. But this one is not functional because you're putting trees inside. So once you walk in, you have a feel of as if you're in a garden, but it's actually the reception. And then you proceed just immediately, you put an aquarium there. So it's a blend. And then right here is in this office, we are trying to achieve a very executive feel, like such a presidential kind of feel. When you walk in, you feel like, yes, this is a director space. This is a CEO space. And then when you go into our boardroom again, you come and realize this. We are very comfortable, high back seats. But again, we just want to maintain the class and the professionalism. When you walk inside there, you feel like, yes, I'm here to make business. And so we're trying to blend because you're moving away from the wooden, very old kinda, and we're back in this new kind of touch with a little bit of lots of gray and beige. These are very subtle colors. They are not very crazy colors. These are very subtle colors. We have a lot of gray, a lot of beige, some cool colors. So yeah, we are trying to achieve, we are remodeling actually. We are at KICC 50th floor, so you can imagine how old this building is. Yeah. And so considering all that, and even our neighbors have all wooden panels and wooden, what is it called, cuts. Yes. But we have such a fantastic paneling that we've done. We have a model paneling. I mean, this is very modern. As you can see even from this room, we have very modern paneling and glass and aluminium and all that. And it's amazing. Even the lighting, wow, yeah. wow.
So tell us about the choice of colors. You're talking about, for this one specifically, you've chosen very subtle colors. And for homes, tunaona, you also mentioned something about rooms being pink. So tell us the choice of colors for commercial spaces.
Now, again, it goes back to the branding of the company. If the company goes a little bit of green and white, that's what they will want in terms of colors, because branding really affects what they are going for. Now, if you go to a different space, it actually speaks more of what they feel like. They feel like this is their goal and their vision. Once you walk in, they want you to feel like that's what the space talks. The space talks like, let's say if you go to Red Cross, the identity is white and red. That's a definite thing that you'll have to experience all through. Of course, you'll throw in some colors. You'll not go for white seats everywhere. They'll have some black functionality. Remember, always remember the function. Don't think of comfort only. Function versus fashion. Yeah. So function and fashion. That's all you go for. So here, as I've said, we really want to achieve some executiveness. And we really pride in minimalistic designs as cozy concept. It's minimal, but classy. So beige, black, gray, those colors are very minimal, but very, very classy. If you find somebody who can blend them like Cozy can for you, oh, very classy. Yeah.
But now you deal with interior design, and you know the colors that are pleasing to the eye. Now speaking from a broader perspective, you know, which colors really are the best for a commercial setup? Leave alone the style of the company. We're talking about mtu anapenda brown or pink, red, leave alone that. Now the appealing colors of a commercial setup in general.
So am I allowed to interview you back? So assume we walk into a commercial space which is a salon and you get it in black, what will you feel?
I love black, it's okay.
But a salon which is black? Are you connecting?
Yeah.
Are you getting? Mm-hmm. Assume you walk into a boutique and it's a feminine, like selling ladies' clothes, and it's all black. What's the feel? Right? So when you start thinking about those lines, you actually realize black is quite or very classy, but it's sort of, for lack of a proper word and to being misquoted, it's quite a very masculine color. It's deep masculine color. And it really does not appeal to the clients who come to such spaces.
Really?
Yeah. So when the man will walk into such a place, he'll be connecting. But for you, you'll be like, okay, there's no life. That's the word. There's no life in this space. And so considering such colors, you have to get the neutral colors, you really have to play with them very safely to actually appeal to the clients who are coming in. And mostly also when you're doing interiors, what happens is the founders, most of like entrepreneurs and let's say entrepreneurs, the founders of the companies really dictate because there's a field that they want to achieve. So for us as Cozy, we really spend a lot of time with our clients in terms of the concept building. We will bring in, you'll of course come to us and tell us what you want. We'll bring in our own touch and tell you this is what we are dreaming for this space, but we are open for that discussion where you will try to lead us and tell us, now this is what you want to achieve. Yeah, and it'll be a long conversation. Like this project was supposed to end by December, but now the owner of this space is changing constantly, considering or rather thinking again and finding new things that they want to plug in. Remember, we had an original plan. And so it really calls for a lot of shipping in and the delay time and what have you. But at last, I'm certain by end month, we'll love to host you again, end month or mid-February, so that you guys come and see what we'll have put up here. It'll be fantastic.
So, I want us to take a very short break, but I want you to think about this even as we go for this break. Materials that are used for such a setup, you say you are remodeling, right? And I also want to understand, the materials that were here before and what you're putting into consideration to ensure that you're using very light materials and not too light, not too heavy. Ndio weight ya kule chini pia isikuwe tampered with. Yes, I want you to think through that even as we take this break. Stay with us, you're watching The Realtor. Welcome back, you're watching The Realtor, and before we took that very short break, we were talking about the colors that are considered for commercial spaces. And our guest is from Cozy Homes Interior, right? I hope I haven't...
Concept.
Cozy Concepts Interiors. I butchered that, but I apologize for that. Now, I told you to think through the materials that are used. Yes, like I said, zile materials ambazo we ensure that they're not too heavy and they're not too light, even as you're remodeling. So what do you put into consideration?
I like the fact that you've gone all architecture on me. And so you pretty much...
that's architecture?
Super architecture work that you've done there, because the weight of the material really, that's how they build, because they want to sustain weight. So even when you're piling up a material or interior, it has to be considerate of what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And so right here, as I said before, it is KICC. We're on the 15th floor of KICC. And it's quite, as you can see, it's an old building, but well built. It's a wonderful architecture. This is wonderful architecture work, a monument of marvel right here in Nairobi. But what you're asking about is the material, is because one of the things is that people had not so much in terms of material scope. The technology was not that advanced as it is right now. So back then people were very woody. There were a lot of wood. Everything was wood. They will shape wood, they will cut wood, they will do everything. But right now, as you can see right here, we have used a lot of panel. And these are PVC panels. What happens with the PVC panels, it's a latest technology. So if somebody will ever walk inside here, you'll realize there's a lot of smooth sort of boards put on the walls and even here. And they bring sort of an infinity touch like you cannot imagine. As I think you guys walked in, there's a wall that looks like a wall and you could actually push it and you get into another room. So it has enabled us to do that. And there's a lot of glass and there's a lot of aluminum, that is metal, used for that. And so it has really differentiated it from where it was to where it is right now. Back then, you can imagine guys used to have a lot of red carpet for executives. But right here in this room, we have a gray one. You get the shift, and then we're going to use a lot also of trying to bring those two things, as I told you, the terrarium, where we have glass, a lot of glass, and putting plants in it. So the material here used lots of it. Majority of what we've used are what are called panels. And part of it, this is like right here, this back is quite a flat one. When you go to the boardroom, you have a 3D panel.
Is that marble?
The marble is the finish, it's like the touch, but the material is PVC panel. Yeah, the marble is the feel and look, right? Yeah, but the material is PVC panel. Okay. Yeah.
Now that we know what is going on here, I want us now to talk about the kitchen, the commercial kitchen and that one at home, the residential homes. How unique are they?
Very different. Again, I'll just go back to the word functionality. Even in the house, you need to think about function. So if right here we have this is an office space, all right? It's commercial, yes, but it's an office space. So it's not very heavy, like there's not a lot of stewing and cutting and chopping, and there's not a lot of that. So you will not get even, in fact, the machinery that's supposed to be in a very serious high-end hotel kind of commercial space. But here we have a small kitchen. It's actually the L-shaped. It's an L-shaped. Because
is that the recommended size for all commercial space?
Not really, not really. Function, fashion, function, fashion. Always let's dice on that. So the function here is because most of the time nobody will be coming to like cook very heavy cooking here, like we're going to cook for a whole 100+ people. No. So it's going to be very light. So a small microwave will work. We don't need a smoke extractor and such kind of stuff. So it's a very small functional kitchen with a space for 4 stools for sitting, which are quite on the wall. So it's a literal L-shaped kitchen. Unlike the other one, which is the big commercial ones, some of them are U-shaped for functionality. And then what we borrow in the house, here what we have in the house are islands. In a commercial space, high kitchen, kind of working kitchen space, the island itself is a working space. So you can get it as stoves and chopping spaces, but in the houses, the island is for eating or maybe banter, right? So the difference is not a standard. One thing that, in fact, one of our interiors, one of our managers on site right now is telling me, Ibrahim, is that one of the difficulties we faced even with our professionals, the painters and the builders, is that we had a problem with the shape. Now that's one of the difficulties we face. Particularly KICC is round. So we have, and remember we are remodeling, so we have to make sure that our fittings go into those shapes, right? So we sort of have to fix a pentagon kind of shape into a round space. So you get it, so it's circle and then you put lines so that it can fit. That's one of the difficulties we face. But depending on the space that you have, you can do an L shape, U shape, open space the way you want it, as long as it's functioning for you. But considering the work that we do here, the client did not want a very big.
So that answers the question how designs vary for commercial spaces.
Yeah.
Jikonis are commercial spaces, right?
Yeah.
Because you've said for KICC, for example, it's round.
Yeah.
So it depends with how a building looks like.
Yeah, because also considering the wastage lines, the piping, the water, where are they? So if that line is actually at a corner, you can't fix a square. You'll have to get sort of a rectangle sink. You get all those dynamics. And also, where is like the fire plan? What fire plans do they have? Like the fire extinguishers and what have you? All those pipelines and what have you. They all dictate how we build like a kitchen in a commercial space. Unlike your resident, you can move. It's your house. You move the pipe from here, pipe it this other way. You can move it. It's easier that way. But for a residential, like here, it's quite different.
For such a design, for such a kitchen here, where we are at the moment, do you think, or do you guys intend to have people, maybe mtu anataka kuwarm chakula yake, but direct from the cooker? Yeah. Is that an option for them?
Yeah, that's an option. We have a 2-burner cooker here, okay. Amazing burner cooker here. I think it can make githeri, that I'm certain of. But now who comes to the office to do all that work?
I would love that. You know, there are people who don't love food zenye ziko kwa microwave.
Yeah. Same here. I don't do.
Yes, now you see.
I don't like food from. Well, I do eat it. Not that I don't like it.
Okay, now that brings me to my question. My next question. How do you ensure, this design ensures that mtu akiwa na kibiriti, hata iguse chini, amjateketea?
Oh, this is beautiful. We are still doing the remodeling. As you can see, they're going to be automated fire extinguishers from above, considering, again, it's KICC. And so they did a fantastic, that's what I'm telling you, it's a good building. Yes, you can call it old, but they considered all this. They had fantastic, well-put plans. Now, another problem comes in right there. You have to build with the instructions of the owners of the building for a commercial space, and that's what happens. So right here we're still going to install them here and even in the kitchen. The installations are still going on, and also have our gas chamber. It's a little bit far from the kitchen place where the fire is like lit. What else? Yeah, pretty much it. We have a number of extinguishers, from water to the carbon powder. We have quite a number of resources to the end. So don't worry if anybody wants to smoke. You'll not smoke here. We'll take you to a smoking zone. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Now, how do you approach planning for a commercial kitchen?
Commercial kitchen. Most of the time, there we usually have freedom because now the expertise come in. As I've told you, we have a team of amazing skilled people working with us. We consult also. We have like some of our suppliers come to site and watch if whatever they're bringing us can really fit. Some of the suppliers for the kitchenware come and watch and see if whatever we're going to install can really work. And so the planning starts from again, the client who tells us what they want to see or what they want to achieve. Then we go put it down in paper, we bring the design, and then we start bantering on what they want. As you know, some of our clients are quite classy, so they want to go for what we want. So they'll tell you they want a specific kitchen make, and you're like, okay, wow. So that's what you're going to get. And right now, I'm free to say this. So one of the directors is not in the country because of the import issues that we have. So you have to go, and if the material is not here or whatever specific thing that the client wants is not here, we'll go to China and Dubai, where we export quite a number of our furniture and mostly even in the kitchen. Some of the kitchen machinery is quite a hit.
Yeah. So tell us the most important elements to consider when designing a commercial kitchen or designs just in general. What should I consider?
Fashion, I'll go back to that. So fashion precedes because that's what you'll see, but function must be considered, blended in it. So if it's, as I've said, the three that come to my head right now is the U and L shaped. But you see, if you borrow that, then you have to consider how accessible it is, where maybe people will be having, is it close to where the work really goes on, or is it far from it, so that does not interrupt maybe boardroom meetings with all that. As you've said, you like chopping and dicing, so you're chopping away. So again, such kind of things, because this is an office space, and then the type of walls that we put in between, again, penetrating sounds. And last but not least is how the building itself is designed, so that you can easily empty your wastage and your water movement. Yeah.
So with that said, Adan, I want you to tell us now the choice of equipment for kitchens, the commercial sasa. What should we put into consideration when choosing? Businesses put into consideration. Yes.
So there's this invisible, the name is really escaping me. So it's sort of a marble. It's sort of a marble. As you look at it, it's a marble, and it has a specific, what are they called? This are called, for lack of a proper word, spans that you can use. And it's invisible, but it has heat in between. Do you like to put that? So those are part of the things that people have started using because it shows an infinity. So the whole table is marble, but there are specific places which are having heating points. So when they're off, you can actually stay on them. So part of it is easy to clean. So if you're doing your commercial space, easy to clean. So it's a marble surface, and it's easy to clean. If you have the money to put those in, they're called invisible fireplace, something of the sort. It has a very long name. So you put it underneath, and it has infinity. So your kitchen does not look bulky, but you can actually make your chapatis and githeri while talking. But it's quite a safe thing. And also consider you having the extinguishers in there, because most of the spaces, like this is an office space, easily flammable papers and what have you, you can get that. So extinguishers are some of the things that you have to put in close reach. And what else? Yeah, pretty much the machinery that you're going to use if you have your oven and your cooker there. So it's just functional pieces, because I don't think if all commercials have these two-door swinging fridges that you need them there for. And yeah, good lighting also for safety. That will be some things that I'll go for.
All right, Abel, even as we close, I want you now to tell us the trending trends in commercial spaces, sana sana kitchen. Zile vitu ambazo maybe businesses know about, but they are 50-50 about tapping into them, or those that they do not know about that they should be tapping into.
Oh yeah, well, this is at the top of my head because different clients, different preferences. But what I've realized is people started spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So the kitchen is supposed to be more lovely, thus they have moved into more whites and marble surfaces. because they look a little bit bougie and nice. And nice tools for the kitchen too, for the commercial space that people can spend more time there. And considering also the...
People to spend more time?
Yeah, they do. People do.
Commercial spaces?
Yes, they do. Have you not realized that's where Moshene runs? Anyway, I'm kidding. But what I'm saying is, you have to make them more lovely nowadays. Like, the interior is a key thing. How it looks and feels, it's really good. So the marble surfaces is a trend that is coming up so well. And white, lot of white, and choice of lighting. They just have nice choices. They're not boring. They're no longer boring lights. They're just cute, hanging chandelier kinda, good lamps. Those are the things that people are going for. And a wonderful, everybody wants an island. And yeah, people are starting putting islands which are bringing you to the commercial spaces. So that's, yeah.
So tell us where maybe we can find cozy interior. I know I'll butcher it, so cozy interior.
Concept interior.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Cozy Concept Interiors. We are all over social media. That is Facebook, Instagram, and we are really trying to get this to TikTok space. But our HQ is in Syokimau, where you actually can visit our offices. Just give us a call, visit our office, and see what we are doing. Just see what we are doing. We have all the materials there. Some of the materials that we have suppliers bringing in, so that you can come and sample them before we install them for you.
All right, asante sana for gracing the Realtor. We do appreciate you for the great insights. Afadhali sasa we know that jikoni ya kazi
Ikae poa.
ikae poa.
Yeah, ikae poa.
Thank you so much. That's it for this week's episode of The Realtor. My name is Anne Odida, and see you next time.